This video contains quite a few spoiler warnings, so if you wanna read the book yourself or is currently reading the book, I would suggest that you take precaution before signing into this video. Hello, good day, hello, hi. Six of Crows. I have finally finished Six of Crows, which I absolutely have here. um, I am going to talk about Six of Crows today. It's there are a bit of scrambled thoughts about it, like what I like about it, like some important places, that I mostly need to remember for myself, and that hopefully will help others to alright, I need to keep track of that place, remember that and that place, those names, because sometimes when, for me, I have a little it's a bit hard to keep track of all the names of on places and stuff like that when reading the book. So yeah, all right. But first, I need to read the description of the book. Okay, criminal prodigy. I don't know if I pronounced that right, but anyway. Criminal prodigy. Casbreaker has been offered a chance at a deadly heist. Break into the Ice Court, a military stronghold that has never been breached, and retrieve a hostage whose knowledge could change Grisha magic forever. To succeed would mean riches beyond Cass's wildest dreams, but he can't pull it off alone. Of course he can't. A convict with a thirst for revenge, a sharpshooter who can't walk away from a wagger, a runaway with a privileged past, a spy known as the Wraith, a heartrender using her magic to survive the slums, and a thief with a gift for unlikely escapes. 6 dangerous outcasts, 1 impossible heist. Together they might just be unstoppable. If they don't kill each other first, of course. Okay. So, Six of Crows is placed out in a universe where some people are born with with magical gifts. They're separated into 3 groups, but I am just going to read them from a list I have here, all of them, and say what they mean and stuff like that. Yeah. Okay. So just so we can keep track. Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! I know what I'm doing. Okay. Those who were born with the magical power Heartrender can control your body just by looking at you. For example, they can be tampering with your heart, slowing it down, getting you into a coma, or a coma, or they can stop your heart completely. They can slow you down and all that stuff. They can control your body pretty much. And there are also people who are born with healing powers, which it says pretty much itself. Squalers, I don't really know how to pronounce that, but I'm going to say squalers. Anyway, squalers can control the wind/air, so they're practically airbenders. Inferni are firebenders. Tidemakers are waterbenders. and then there's alchemy. Like I don't really like. I didn't really. They didn't really um like say it by like the name in the book, but more they. Okay, so it's a character in the book that I presume have alchemy magic, but like they in the book they don't really like have it like as alchemy, but they say it during the collective name, which I don't really remember. Shut up. But anyway, so alchemize, if I'm not wrong, can control different metals and like they can, for example, and they can create things from like different materials and stuff like that. So yeah, they can do stuff like that. But Jurasts, I don't know if I pronounced that right either, but Jurasts, I'm not really sure actually. I don't really think it came up during the book, but it probably will come up during the second book, Crooked Kingdom, which I'm actually reading right now. Yeah, so these are the magical like powers that you can have in this like world, and there's a bunch there are like other books that's not directly connected to the Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom, but they are connected to the world that is connected, like that is this world. You know what I'm saying? I hope that you know what I'm saying. But yeah, and that I found quite interesting. Yes. With that said, I should probably go into the important places which y'all and especially me should remember, like keeping track of during your reading was what I was trying to say. Uh, Sorry, my thoughts are a little all over the place for the moment. Anyway, important places to keep track of. Okay, the first place that I wrote down was Hellgate. So, Hellgate is a prison that is located a bit outside of Ketterdam, which is the place where the book takes place 50% of the actual book. Hellgate, yeah, it's a prison where they where it's a pretty tough prison. Like uh, when uh, it, when the characters when some of the characters first come to Hellgate to break out another prisoner for the which they which will help them during their quest. They see that it's kind of a, what was it called? The Rome's gladiator. It was a type of gladiator fight between some of the prisoners and a few animals that the prison somehow have gotten, bought, you know. But yeah, it was kind of a gladiator stadium place in the prison, and it was pretty chaotic. Yeah, it was not really nice. But that should really say a bit about how how the place was, and yeah, it's just the thing that I can remember about the place, and the most important. The second place I have noted here is Fifth Harbor, which is a tourist attraction and a big place where uh, most of the gambling houses and the pleasure houses, from my understanding, is located. I can remember it wrong, but yeah, it's mostly tourists and a tourist place and a place for gambling houses. It's also a place that is owned by the group that well, the characters that we follow in the book comes from, like is in. You know what I'm trying to say. It's anyway. It's a place that profits the characters, and yeah, it's big money. It's big money. So another place is Menagerie. Menagerie. I don't know. I can't pronounce that place if my life depended on it. But anyways, it's a pleasure house that's owned by Tante Helene, also known as the Peacock. It's a place tied to one of the main characters, and it will come up a few times in the book. But yes, it's a pleasure house of notice. It's a very fancy pleasure house. And but if we continue from that, the ice court. And the note that I have written on this one is, if prisons had ranks, this one would be noble or royal. And for those who have read the books, if you don't, you know what I'm talking about. Like, it's chef kiss, top tier fucking prison. It's a very fancy prison, but also a very like hard prison. You know what I mean? Like, not. It's kind of like Hellgate, but a bit harsher and more fancy. Um. And with that, we tying over to the next one, Fjärden. It's a northern. It's like a country. It's like a northern country, but uh, very cold. A very cold place. Uh, Pretty much like Sweden, Finland, Norway of this world. That's at least what I pictured it as. And this is where one of the main characters comes from. Uh, and it's cold, just like the character, which says a lot. No, but anyway. And the last little place I have here is Ravka. I I am totally butchering like all of these names r- completely right, absolutely. But anyway, it's a country just like Fjärden, and it's pretty much a hotspot for Grisha, for those with Grisha powers. It's like a safe space and a safe place, and yeah, it's very important in like the Grisha world, you know. But with the important places out of the way, I should also like mention. I I have totally forgotten that name. I have totally forgotten what that's called. Uh, fucking anyway, I character names, important character names to keep track of. Thank you. Yes, but okay, characters before I embarrass myself even more. Anyway, um, Casbreaker. You already know Casbreaker from the description, but anyway, it's a big name around the barrel, which is a part of Ketterdam. The Ketterdam is like divided in different parts, and the barrel is one of these parts of Ketterdam. Anyway, uh, Nina. Nina's a horse render and working for the White Rose, which is one of the pleasure houses at the barrel. Um, uh, and then it's Ine, also known as the Wraith, and former slave and forced in. Yeah, she's a former slave. And then there's Jasper, which is a gambling addict and a gun fanatic. And he's my favorite character ever. Tante Helene, which is a slave owner and the owner of one of the pleasure houses. She has a past with Ine, and her alias is the Peacock. And then there's Matthias, raised as a slaver and has a past with Nina. And then there's Wyland, dear Wyland, which is a merchling. And then there's Pekka Rollins. Keep track of this fucking name, dudes. Keep track of this name. Pekka Rollins, owner of the Emerald, which is a gambling house. I can't speak today. I'm sorry. It's Pekka Rollins is the owner of the Emerald, which is a gambling house, and Rollins is quote unquote a big fish at the barrel. But yes, these are the characters to keep track of within the book, which will do, which will. They are important. They are important. Yes. I should also mention. I tie in what I like about the book, so that so with the hopes of people hearing this and those who like the same things that I do, maybe start reading it. Hopefully. But yes, the few points I have, which I could come up with, is I have a little list here. What I like about the book: the vibe, the Swedish hints, Jasper and Wyland, my babies, and the outlay. The outlay of, for example, the barrel and other places. So, what I mean about this is first of the vibes. The vibes that I got from this book was cold, rainish, and majority gray. With it's kind of soothing in a way. It's kind of soothing while reading it, and yeah, sure, it deals. The book deals with some heavy topics but it's in the same way kind of relaxing. I don't really know if I should. It's kind of soothing. It's kind of soothing, and the Swedish hints, as I mentioned before, I think Fjärden is the representation of the Swedish, Norwegian, like Finnish parts are little end over here, like represent the type of countries over here. And with that also comes the some names that comes up, which sometimes can be kind of funny. For example, druskalle, eller dröskalle. It's a pretty weird name. Like, not only the name itself, but also because what it means. Druskalle is, I assume, like, a collector, like, it's a made-up word, but it's two different words, like, in itself. Dru and skalle, which in Swedish kind of represent drö and skalle. Skalle is skull, so head, and drö is kind of like slacking off, being kind of lazy. It means like that. So it's like lazy head or lazy bones or like idiot. And it's kind of funny when you realize what the hell druskalles really do. So I just thought that was a little funny note that the author threw in there. And yes, that was just one example. There's, but yeah, that was just a connection I made. I don't really know if the author really made it, but it's just a thing that I noticed and what it meant. But yes, and when it comes to Jasper and Wyland, the characters, like, for this is like a major spoiler, but or I don't really know. I I shouldn't say that, but anyway, I really like Jasper's and Wyland's relationship towards like from like the middle of the book towards the end of it, because they're so fucking cute. They're so fucking cute together. I love them. And yes, it's gay. It's gay. It's so gay, and I love it. But not only because of that, but they're so cute. They're so cute. They're so cute. That's the only thing I have to add on that note. They're cute together, and if you don't think that they're cute, I don't know what's wrong with you. um. Anyway, to the last little thing here. Um, the outlay of, for example, the barrel, like this, this map that the author has created for the book is kind of confusing in a way, but like just of like not mainly in Six of Crows, but in Crooked Kingdom it starts to get a little confusing when you notice it was just a thing I noticed, but I'm getting ahead of myself. Like, I really liked like the way of the layouts, for example on like the ice court, and like I shouldn't really, but like not only like I really like I am a person that I've noticed a little thing about myself that I try to make think over in books how the outlay, how it works with how the author describes it. and like I'm trying to create some sort of map in my head, like over what the different worlds look like, and like it's and here I've found it quite easy to like get this world, but sometimes it can still be a little confusing over how this person came from this place to this place in this much time, if this place is over here and the other place in is on like this place. And like but oh sorry but like the I can really like appreciate the way this author has like built this world of Ravka, and I think that's what I like the most about this book, like the way that this author has built up this town, this place, and which like from my picture of it is chaotic, but it's quite beautiful in a way, and I really like that. It's quite beautiful, and yeah, um, yes, I can feel myself getting even more like all over the place with this video, so I should probably get this video over with and done. um, I really need to get better on like doing these kinds of things, like talking in general first of all, but especially on a note like this where it's not like rambling, and I really need to stop say like. But you just have to bear with me for a minute because I need to get the right word, and I you know what I'm trying you know what I'm trying to say. But anyway, I should round this video off, and I really want to recommend this book. You should really read it. It's quite it's nice. It's a nice read. It's a nice read. Um, but with that said, I now bid you goodbye, and I'll see you next Sunday. And hopefully, I have some other content that you will understand. But I am now signing off.